Hey up, Mr. Josh here, back again for another Listening and Understanding video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to click the link underneath this video. That will take you to my website where you can download a question sheet. Under the title of the question sheet, you'll see a link to YouTube. Watch that video as many times as you like, answer the questions, then come back here to see how many you got right and wrong. So, here we are again, another video. I think it's number 14? Yeah, I think it's 14 this time. And this is Tim Urban doing a TED Talk about procrastination. If you don't know what TED is, it's like an intelligent YouTube. It's mostly sort of educational and sciencey type stuff. You're not going to find any cat videos on TED. Actually, I could be wrong about that, but never mind. The link, however, you'll notice will take you to YouTube, not TED. And the reason being is to help you not cheat as much. Because if you find this video on TED, you will find that you have subtitles in lots of different languages and they're normally pretty good. Whereas on YouTube, you might get one set of subtitles in English and it's really quite bad. So anyway, in this video, Tim Urban talks about procrastination. Something I am very familiar with because I have a Spanish mother, I live in Spain, Mediterranean blood. You know, it's not for nothing that the most common phrase here in Spain is mañana, mañana, meaning tomorrow, tomorrow. So I am well versed on all aspects of procrastination. I am the pro of procrastination, absolutely 100%. So the reason why I use this particular TED Talk is because it's the only TED Talk I've ever seen where the guy gets a standing ovation at the end. A standing ovation means everyone gets up to cheer when you finish. Most TED Talks is like a respectful silence and at the end it's like a, oh yes, very well done, sort of applause. But he gets like a standing ovation. And it is quite funny. Let's get into this and give it a try. Tim Urban TED Talk. Question 1. What was Tim's major in college? In college, he was a government major, which I don't actually know what that is, I've got to confess. Government? Do you have to go to a school for government? I thought it was just an amateur job. Hey ho, who knows? Question 2. Tim shows a slide depicting a normal workflow for a normal student. What is different about Tim's workflow from when he used to be in college? So the difference between Tim's and a normal person is that he didn't spread his work over the assigned month or week. He did everything at the very last possible minute, which is standard fare for the vast majority of college students as far as I know. Question 3. Tim explains about his 90-year senior thesis. How much time are students given to write their thesis? So your senior thesis should take you about a year to write, in theory. Thankfully, when I did my university degree a couple of years back, it didn't have one of those. Whew, otherwise I'd have been really screwed. Question 4. Tim begins to tell the audience how in fact his time went. What did he fail to do in the middle months? So during those middle months, having already revised his schedule, he didn't actually write any words. I'm guessing he was out drinking and partying and probably sleeping it off. Question 5. How many days did Tim have left when he finally started to write his 90-page thesis? So by the time he actually got up and decided to write something, it was 3 days, which is not a lot of time to write 90 pages of original work. In fact, I think I would struggle to copy 90 pages, never mind come up with the 90 pages of original work. Question 6. Tim explains that in order to write his thesis, he had to pull not 1 but 2 all-nighters. What does it mean to pull an all-nighter? So to pull an all-nighter shouldn't be confused with working nights. That's different. Like I used to be a night worker. I used to work all through the night, sleep all during the day. But in this context, what he means is he worked all day and then worked all through the night as well. That is to pull an all-nighter. Question 7. A week after he handed in his final thesis, Tim received a call from the school informing him that his thesis was the best they'd ever seen. True or false? So this is my favourite part of the video because he says, you know, he got the call saying it's the best he've ever seen. And there's that little bit of a pause. He says, that didn't happen. I just wanted to have that moment where you all thought, this guy's incredible. So no, it didn't really happen. He was just doing it for the sensation of love and admiration. Question 8. Tim now writes the blog, Wait But Why? What subject did he decide to write about a couple of years ago? Well, that was procrastination, which is what this TED Talk is all about. Question 9. According to Tim, inside the brain of a procrastinator, there are two characters fighting for control. What are they called? So in your average brain, you have the rational decision maker and the instant gratification monkey. Although I think in mine, the rational decision maker is like an old pensioner that can't be bothered to get out of his chair half the time. And the instant gratification monkey rules! That would explain quite a bit of my life, actually. Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Moving on. Question 10. The instant gratification monkey never wants to do any meaningful work. True or false? This would be true. The instant gratification monkey never wants to do any meaningful work. Now, it should be pointed out there is a difference between just work and meaningful work. So if you think about a student who's supposed to be studying for an exam, there's a world of difference between taking a book, reading carefully through it, making notes and being very detailed and sucking out information. There's a difference between that, getting the book and going, yeah, right, okay, yeah, I read that. That's different. That's not meaningful work. That's just work. Question 11. Why does the instant gratification monkey want to go and look inside the fridge? So the instant gratification monkey wants to go and look inside the fridge to see if there's anything different in there since 10 minutes ago. Actually, wait there a minute.
12 seconds later.
Hey, I found something. Don't mind me. Just talk amongst yourselves. I know it's plastic cheese, but I love it. What the hell? Question 12. Tim explains that the monkey has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and only cares about two things. What are those two things? So the only thing that the monkey really cares about is things that are easy and fun. And as Tim explains, this is not good for your average human. You know, if you're a dog and you spend your life doing easy, fun stuff, great. But as a human, no, we've got to do the boring, crappy stuff as well. Question 13. The monkey has a theory that humans are simply another animal species. What are the three things that the monkey believes are important to humans? As far as the monkey is concerned, the only three things that matter to us humans is being well slept, well fed, and propagated into the next generation. If you're wondering what it means to propagate, it basically means to produce more children. Question 14. According to Tim, what is the main aim of the rational decision maker in a person's brain? So the rational decision maker's main task is to make sure that we are doing whatever we should be doing at that time and place. He sounds really boring, doesn't he? He's probably got a really boring name like Kevin. Anyway, never mind. Moving on. Question 15. Do the two characters ever agree about what should be getting done? Yes, they do. There is an overlap because sometimes in life you should be doing something that's easy and fun. Going out and riding a bike or stuffing yourself stupid with a big meal or getting drunk. Sometimes we need the easy fun stuff to do. Question 16. What happens in the dark playground? So the dark playground, a place that I am a frequent visitor on a daily basis, is a place where you're doing fun things when you should be actually working. Like I say, it's a place I know very, very well. Question 17. When procrastinators are in the dark playground, the air is filled with negative emotions. What are those negative emotions? So those negative emotions are guilt, dread, anxiety, and self-hatred. All very close friends of mine. Question 18. Procrastinators have a guardian angel to make sure that important things get done. What is the name of the guardian angel? So the name of the guardian angel is the panic monster. Panic! Don't worry, panic, don't panic, don't panic. If you've never seen Dad's Army, you have no idea why I just did that.
Don't panic! Don't panic! Right, don't panic, you're all right.
You should go and look up Dad's Army. There are some episodes on YouTube and it's a very, very British comedy. Question 19. Most of the time the guardian angel is sleeping. What things will make the guardian angel wake up? So the reasons that the panic monster will wake up is if there's a deadline that gets too close, there is a danger of public embarrassment, some form of career disaster, or some other scary consequence. Like trying to sit in front of a camera and read from a tablet without you lot noticing. I think I failed. Question 20. Has Tim ever dreamed of doing a TED Talk? So again, this is another bit that really makes me laugh. He says, yes, I've always dreamt of doing a TED Talk in the past. You know, if you think about it, there's probably quite a lot of events that you would like to say that you did do, but you don't actually want to go through. For example, you know, I would like to do a parachute jump, but like I say, in the past, you know, just so I can say I've done it. One day I'll do it, not yet though. 21. On the day that Tim agreed to do the TED Talk, what did he waste 2.5 hours doing? So as he said, basically he opened up Google Earth, zoomed right into the very bottom, and then spent 2.5 hours scrolling up the country to get a better feeling for India. I have done exactly that, but not with India. It was another country. Question 22. How much time was left before Tim's TED Talk when his personal panic monster woke up? So as he says, you know, they announced the new speakers and he had 1 month left. Which, to write a 15-minute TED Talk, I mean, come on. It's not going to take you a month to do that. Question 23. When the panic monster wakes up in Tim's brain, what happens to the monkey? The panic monster wakes up and the monkey, boom, he's up the tree, which is where monkeys belong, up trees, not in control of human brains. Question 24. Tim explains that the 3 characters in his head sum up most procrastinators' system for getting things done. Is this an elegant system? So he doesn't say elegant, he says pretty. And no, it's not a pretty system. It's not pretty, it's not elegant, it's not lovely, it is none of the above. It is a dirty, messy way of doing things. And as I say, I'm a full-time practitioner of this method, so I know just how bad it can get sometimes. Question 25. People wrote to Tim after reading his blog post. What was the overriding problem all these people had? So the overriding problem they had was a sense of intense frustration that this procrastination prevented them not just from doing their dreams, but not even getting started on their dreams. And it's for this reason that me personally, if I make a decision to do something, I have to do it immediately, which also explains why my life is such a mess and I do things that I probably should have thought about first. But where's the fun in that? 26. Tim mentions 3 things outside of work that people procrastinate on that don't have deadlines. What are those 3 things? I've had a few disagreements with people about how many there actually is in this. So let's just rattle off what they are and give yourself a point if you've got these things. We have seeing family, exercising and taking care of your health, working on relationships, or getting out of relationships that aren't working. However you want to score that, feel free. I've given up arguing with people as to how many categories there are in that. 27. Tim explains that procrastination on things with no deadlines can lead to a silent, long-term unhappiness. True or false? Well, this is true, and he says it's actually a more dangerous form of procrastination because it's just silent and you just don't feel it until you become 48 years old and you look back on your life and you think, went wrong somewhere. Don't ask me how I know. Question 28. Tim explains that people suffering from long-term procrastination feel like spectators in their own lives. What are these people unable to do in their lives? So what they are unable to do is live their dreams, or more to the point, not even start their dreams, which is what happened to me when I turned 40 and I realized that I hadn't done any of the things that I actually wanted to do, and that's why I basically had my midlife crisis and said, hell with it, I'm just going to do what I want. It's led to some interesting little adventures, most of which I can't say here on camera. Question 29. Tim says that after reading people's emails about how frustrating procrastination can be, he had an epiphany. What was the epiphany? So the epiphany that he came to was that everyone is a procrastinator on something. There is no such thing as a person that never procrastinates, because we all stop and think about something instead of just get up and do it. So even you, no matter how much you think you're in control of your life, you are a procrastinator. Welcome to the club. Question 30. Tim shows a thing called a life calendar. What does each box represent? So each box represents 1 week of a 90-year life, which is kind of depressing because I'm well over halfway down that little calendar and I doubt I'm going to get to 90 years, so I'm really well over the halfway mark. Oh well, c'est la vie. And the final question, 31. Tim ends the talk by telling people when they should start the process of beating procrastination. When should they start? We should all start today. Well, maybe not today. You know, sometime soon. There's a really good joke that I like showing my students. I'll put it up on the screen here. It's procrastinators unite tomorrow. That is actually a joke. If you're looking at it thinking, why is that funny? Think about it. So there we go, another video done, a bit more serious than the ones I usually do, and it's going to be the last TED Talk I'm going to do for a long time because they don't really make for very interesting videos normally. But there we go, I hope you got some useful information out of it, and if nothing else, that you'll think about your life and think, yes, I am procrastinating on so much, I need to get up and do things. And if one of those things is meeting me on Skype and giving me money, come! You should do it today, now. Go to my website and book a meeting with me. Make me rich. I need the money. I need to get back to Asia. Anyways, I'm going to go and edit this video, which is going to take me an eternity. 31 questions. What was I thinking of? Oh God, this is going to take me hours. And I will see you next Thursday for a much shorter video. I can promise you that. Bye for now.